So, welcome.
In the way, isn't it?
No, it's okay.
Let's just sit like this. This is better, isn't it?
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay, cool.
So, this is going to be our first episode of slightly new series of videos.
Yeah, we don't know what we're going to call it. The hashtag.
Don't know what we're
hashtag radical
I'm
iMag.
not sure what we're going to call this yet, but basically, we've noticed that lots of people are using our hashtag radical iMag hashtag, and
That's hashtag radical iMag.
Yep.
Hashtag radical iMag.
We've noticed lots of people are using it, and I think it's had over 1,000 posts on it now. So we thought this was a good opportunity to look through it, sort of pick out some of our favourites that we've spotted.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to talk about everyone, but because there's been some really cool stuff.
Yeah, I guess the idea is we'll pick like a few photographers who've used the hashtag each episode, and then we'll talk over a few photos we like. It's not like a critical thing or anything. It's just like we're going to try and showcase some of your work and, give it a platform, because we've got a little one online at the moment, so we can we can post stuff we like, which is cool. Share stuff
So if you're not using the hashtag and you would like to, then just start using it.
What's the hashtag?
It's hashtag radical iMag.
All right, cool. Yeah, got you.
So let's get started. This
Let's
first
go.
one. So we've picked out 3 photographers for this first episode. The first guy I want to talk about is a guy called Alec Chapman, and his tag is. Do you want to?
His handle is @native.photo. But that's Alec Chapman. Yeah, he's got some cool stuff. So
he's got some cool stuff. It looks like he's doing some sort of
very like car focused, like Americana kind of style stuff.
I think that's what's sort of drawn us to it. It's a bit foreign to us, I suppose, isn't it? We don't. It's this sort of
don't see vehicles
American,
like this a lot.
Sort of an American aesthetic, which is obviously interesting to us.
Yeah, I think for us, because we're obviously, it probably is different if you live over there, but we have this sort of, I guess, romantic view of the States as like this place for road tripping and like the open road, and the space is there, and like a lot of the photography on Alex's account captures this really well, I think, and the cars are just really cool. So
So this first shot we've got, we picked it out. It was. Should we bring this?
Yeah.
Bring this a bit closer. So this is
terrible.
awkward, isn't it? we haven't practiced this.
Can you tell?
Can you tell? So this first one, is everything we just mentioned. Really, it's this sort of American aesthetic, which is obviously familiar to us through films. I think this particular shot really jumped out to me compositionally, because obviously we've got this car in the foreground, but also in the background this building, which I'm not even sure what it is. It looks like it's kind of industrial, possibly some flats maybe.
Yeah.
I just thought it was really nice, and then to top it off, you've got this light coming through. The trees is just it's just really rich kind of moment, I suppose.
Yeah, I think even the power lines in the background provide like a kind of, I don't know, like an angle down towards the car, and they kind of give you an idea of motion and stuff. I think it's quite evocative in it, which is cool.
It's like what's that word? It's like the vanishing point almost.
Yeah.
What am I thinking of?
Perspective.
But it's a perspective thing. Yeah, it's a perspective thing with the car, the building in the background, and the cables running through the power lines, all sort of like leading in this cross, whatever the word is. Yeah. I think we've overanalyzed it.
Yeah, we have. Also, great colour of a car. It's a good summer vibe. The whole palette is really summery. It's like a minty kind of greeny, surf green sort of car, which is like great for summer vibes.
It's a great summer car, isn't it?
Right, next one.
This, it looks like a Porsche.
It does look like a Porsche.
This one, I really like this one. Lots of interesting stuff going on here with the sort of the colour from the leaves and the flowers, and again, it's this American view, I suppose, isn't it? I don't know where this. Oh, it's in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. So I didn't know Atlanta, Georgia looked like that, but
no, nice.
It looks really cool.
Looks great.
Yeah, this one's a bit of a curveball from Alex, isn't it?
Yeah, this is very different, but it's I don't know, like all this neon stuff is always great to look at. Yeah.
And I feel like we're gonna repeat ourselves again. It makes me feel nostalgic for something I've never seen.
Yeah, it feels. I think it feels like it could have been. It's almost errorless, this kind of photo, because a lot of this signage has been around for a long time, and it kind of it could have been any time, I think. Yeah,
exactly. And I think I speak probably for both of us. I love this sort of like we both have come from sort of design backgrounds, so this sort of like typography and this sort of neon sort of vibes really interesting.
It always like appeals, doesn't it? And it's
really cool image.
What we got next? Oh, this is one of my picks. I always love scenes like this. They feel quite cinematic, and you can almost paint a story around an image like this, I think. I mean, I'm always drawn to like these kind of empty, lonely feeling spaces. I don't know why, and I just like the quality of the light in this image, because it's obviously at dusk, so you can kind of see the light dropping out from the sky, and the lights on the petrol station are in, and obviously the wet floor gives you these really cool reflections with and you've got the leading lines coming from the power lines and stuff, and it kind of draws you into this scene. And I think that there's just one kind of lonely car kind of sat in the background. Yeah, it just helps you kind of build a narrative in your head, and I think like this photo has captured like a kind of story for me, which I really like.
Yeah, really nice.
But yeah, so that's it for Alex's stuff. We'll put all the links in the description, but his handle is at native.photo, and Alex Chapman, we really like your work, so thanks for using the hashtag.
Yeah, appreciate it. Great work.
Right, on to the next.
On to the next one.
Yeah.
So we've got, forgive me if I don't actually say this correctly, James Parrott.
I think that's how you pronounce it, yeah.
It's
Parrett.
Yeah, again, we'll put the links down there, and his handle is james.parrott.
So Parrott. Sorry if we pronounced it
wrong.
Sorry
if we got that wrong. Yeah. So James is doing... Where are his images? Here they are. James is in London.
Lots of street portraiture.
Yeah, got some cool portraits. Seen quite a few images from James. He's been using the hashtag, and this was one that sort of jumped out to me. Yeah, I think he's just nailing the sort of the depth of like a really interesting portrait. Really, I'm not sure who this gentleman is, but this reminds me of when we did that episode where we went out and just met people.
Yeah, we
just found people. It wasn't sort of it feels really like organic, I suppose. It's not staged, which I'm sort of getting from this a bit as well, which is nice.
And this image is quite nice. Like the background obviously suits like the styling as well. Like we've obviously got some graffiti that's kind of blown out in the background. I like how his hair just slightly kind of covers the like leading eye, but obviously the eye's in focus, and it's got quite a it's got a nice feel to it.
Yeah, for sure. And we've kind of teamed it with this other shot from James. I'm guessing exactly the same spot. Just I think these two together are a really nice little set. Just giving you a bit more context into sort of like where we are. Which this is familiar. I can tell this is London. That's a nice sort of combination. I like what he's done there. He's got the two shots, sort of teaming them together. And then so we've got this one from James as well. Duke Street Tattoo. Where's Duke Street Tattoo?
Duke Street. I'm going to go with Duke Street.
Is it in Duke Street? It's in Chelmsford.
There we go.
I was not expecting Chelmsford.
So this is Essex then, is that right?
Essex, yeah, Essex, just outside of London. Yeah, so I'm guessing this man is something to do with the tattoo parlour.
I think there's another image of this guy as well, and I think he's one of the tattoo artists that work there, and it's just it's a really nice portrait. Again, I think that upward angle works really well to kind of view him as like a kind of power figure in the situation that he's in, obviously as the tattooist and stuff. And I like how, like, over his left shoulder on the right hand side of the image, you can sort of see some of the artwork on the wall. Even though it's blown out, it gives you context for where he is. So you're like, I know that I'm viewing this image of a tattooist outside his shop, and it kind of works situationally. And also just handling, I think, portraits with people wearing glasses is quite a difficult thing to manage a lot of time, and I think the focus points on it are great, and it's come out really well. Yeah,
real sharp.
So that was
So that was James.
James Parrott, and you can find him at james.parrott, and that's Parrett. So but we'll put it in the description,
put some links and
you guys can view him yourself. Yeah.
So go and show James a bit of love.
Yeah. Give him a like. And a follow.
Or a subscribe.
You can't subscribe to him on Instagram, mate.
You can.
Cool. Next one.
Next one is Bruce_the Moose.
Excellent.
Which is great.
It's a great handle.
It's a great name.
Bruce Anderson.
We'd like
the real
to know
name.
more about this name.
Yeah, if you are the moose in question, could you let us know why you went with Bruce the Moose? We think it's great.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments, Bruce. We'll pin it to the top, but we need to find out. We need to know more about this.
Yeah, we're assuming you're not actually a moose because it would be impossible to take the photos.
No, I don't think he's a moose.
No.
Bruce_the Moose. Real name is Bruce Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Bruce Anderson. And we've got some shots from him. So all of his stuff is black and white, and his feed looks really great. He's got some really cool stuff. Some kind of like some real clean portraits, but also some more sort of like interesting
quite
compositions
kind of stuff. Yeah.
So this first one got this character having a look through the fence.
Yeah.
Quite interesting.
It's just a really focused image, isn't it? Like you're immediately drawn to like the point of interest, which is right in the middle of the frame, and the eyes are obviously in between each of the parts of the fence, which is cool. Yeah. And there's this little flap that's there, and everything. It's kind of like the interplay with the background almost feels flat because it's through this like mesh or whatever. So it almost feels like a painting, and this person is like peeking through. Yeah. The painting. It's just a really interesting composition.
So the sort of pattern created by the fence. Don't know what I was saying then, just talking about a fence, but
we love fences.
We enjoy it. We enjoy the fence. This is cool. The shot that it is probably my favourite, I think. This is the sort of example I'm talking about of these sort of more conceptual art pieces. Again, it could be a sort of frame from a film or something.
There's lots of really interesting things going on in the image, like the hand is pointing obviously down where there's a corner, there's a edge of the building, and the shadow of the hand ends up pointing down alongside that wall because of how the shadow plays with the wall, and also the actual hand in the foreground that is creating the shadow is pointing in that direction, but the rest of the body is on the other face of the wall. So it provides this like nice interplay between the angles, which is great.
Yeah, great image. Really
strong stuff.
Sort of captured my attention, this one. I'm not really sure what to say about it apart from that. I just
look at it.
It just you don't have to. You just have to look. And then we've got a portrait, but again, not just your standard portrait from Bruce. He's the
face is all covered.
He's covering the face up, and I kind of like it. For like, it's not perfect. There's a bit of like motion blur if you look into the sort of details in this, but that's kind of why I like it. It
kind of adds to the feeling.
It's not. It feels real. It doesn't feel like it's overproduced,
like overly set up, or
it feels like a true moment, like something that's. I'm not sure if it is,
Yeah.
but it feels like
it feels really
this
emotive,
is a moment and
doesn't
he's
it?
captured it.
Yeah.
It's, you know, someone's going through something.
I also think like still having the side of the face that is in really dark shadow, the eye is still very visible because there's a nice like eye light there, which is great, and it his eye, you're really drawn to his eyes through that kind of, I don't know, the angle, the kind of space he's created with his hand. So yeah, it's a really nice image.
Some sort of like, it's almost like he's trying to. The eyes are sort of saying something.
And he's
there's
trying to
something
hide
not
it.
wrong.
Yeah.
There's something behind them eyes that we need to find out more. We need to find out more, Bruce. And then this one goes back to the first image I think we looked at from Bruce. The light in this one just really grabbed my attention. I think they've got a bit of sort of flare going across the top. You can see the sort of the directional light coming across. Yeah, just really like this one.
Feels a bit more candid.
It does, yeah. And then
I picked this one out.
yeah, we've got some.
I kind of thought
interesting.
I like the image. It feels like there's a bit of humour in the image. Obviously, like the caption is good.
Yeah,
washed up.
The caption.
But I'd like the composition as a general. I think it's quite interesting, and it's just like this guy has been left out along with all the rest of the kind of stuff after the day out fishing or whatever. And it's, I don't know, there's a bit of humour to it, and there's a bit of storytelling in the image, and it's just a nice picture.
Yeah, I think from sort of what drew me to this one, it looks like a print. It looks like it reminds me of almost like a fashion print. You could almost have this as like part of an editorial or something. The sort of low highlights. I'd be interested to know if it was like a handprint. I'm guessing it's not based from his hashtags, but yeah, it has that real sort of like physical printed vibe, which
feels quite tangible.
I'm a fan of.
Which is nice.
Yeah, and then we've got another portrait again. This one for me is very kind of American.
Yeah, definitely. It's like motel.
I'm guessing, it's a motel, and it's not something we really have in England. Or in Europe, I suppose, that much. It's more of it's
definitely
such
feels very American, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's again also very filmic. It feels very cinematic. Films. There's a story in this one.
I always
He's
think
looking out to someone that's left, or
it's quite interesting for a portrait because it's probably the way it's framed is not very conventional for a portrait, but that headroom has obviously been left there. Because you want to see that angle and the rest of like the motel, so you get more of a feel for that something else is going on in the image. It's not just about this one guy. There's a story that surrounds him. So
yeah. So this last one from Bruce.
Yeah, it's cool. I like this. I picked this one. I just like. I like that he's sort of the thing in this like slice of shadow between all this light. And again, I like that kind of storytelling aspect to it. It looks like this guy's got some things going on. He's maybe having a bit of a tough time, and you get that is conveyed really well by, I think, the light choices and where he's been placed, and yeah, so it's just an interesting shot.
Yeah, there's a lot of emotions going on in Bruce's images.
Yeah,
I think. Like,
Bruce the Moose is a very
he's an emotional guy.
Yeah,
we need to find out more about this moose.
Yeah. But yeah.
So yeah, great stuff. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. It's just another type of format we wanted to try out. Just to talk about the work of other people, basically.
Yeah, and just showcase some of the stuff that we like that you guys are doing, and it's a nice thing for us to do. So if you are interested in like us maybe talking about your work, like make sure you kind of chuck the hashtag on your photos. We look at all of them. We go through and save the stuff we like, and if we'll hopefully get some of you more guys featured on here in the next episode if you're interested. So
yeah, there's plenty more
where this came from
to look through. Yeah, obviously we don't have time to sort of deep dive into every single photo. Maybe mix it up next time and do more people with less photos, or
we'll see. We'll play with the format a bit, and maybe you guys can let us know what you like if you want to see more photographers and less photos, or the same kind of thing that we've done this time around. Then
one person and 100 photos.
That's what we do every week, though, mate. Every month.
Oh yeah, sure. Forgot about that. But yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Make sure you like and
sure-
subscribe.
You're in charge of this. From now
Oh
on.
fuck, I hate it.
You're in charge of the like and subscribe.
Yeah, please, like, if you like the stuff, do that. That helps us out. We've also got the Patreon set up, which is a really useful platform for us because it helps us fund like some of the film and some of the more. We've got some more videos coming that are a slightly different format. Like we're doing a feature video on a photographer, and we're hoping to do more of those. And they're a bit more. They're a bit harder to set up and take a bit more resources. So if you like the channel and if you do want to support us, it's massively helpful. And you get the chance to win one of the contact sheets that Jonny makes for every episode. So hopefully we can give a little bit back to you. I mean, we're planning to do some more stuff with the Patreon and for the subscribers specifically. So yeah, join us on there if you can. But yeah, I mean, we're going to be doing more of these episodes anyway, so chuck the hashtag on and yeah, like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Catch you on the next.
What's our sign off going to be?
Our sign off is catch you on the
Flip side.
flip side.
That's so shit, isn't it? What can we say?
We'll
that's
think
cool?
about it. Any suggestions, put them in the comments.
We need to think of like some kind of photography based pun.
Yeah, keep
Happy snapping.
rolling.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah.
No. Right, thanks guys.
Cheers.
See ya.